We're in session. The jury is absent. The jurors have sent me a note through the bailiff which says, request the transcript of Shay Gadet's testimony. As I recall, Ms. Gadet was about the 10th witness called by the state in this case. Linda, you didn't take that, did you? Gina took that. Yeah. You don't keep notes on the length of, you don't keep notes on the length of your testimony, do you? Okay. Looking at my notes, her testimony was fairly lengthy. Let's see. Linda, can you, Gina's with Judge Fox. I'm sorry? Who is? Okay. I'd like to get some idea of the length of it. I'd like to get some idea of the length of that. I'm sorry? See if she's in a position to give us some idea. Can you? I'm sorry? Gee, I don't know. Do we know? Do you know if it's Carrie or Gina? Sorry. Okay. January the January 28th. It's finished up on the 30th. I'm sorry. Yeah. Is this Fox in session? Is he trying something? Okay. Could you text Gina and find and see if she can tell us about how we're looking at Shay's testimony about how long it was, Shay Gadet. Okay. I'm going to bring the jury in and address the question. Obviously, you know that the court does have the discretion to allow prior testimony in a trial to be read back by the court reporter if the court in its discretion finds that that would be in the interest of justice. I don't normally do that unless the court reporter has the opportunity to prepare a transcript and can be comfortable that she or he are reading back the questions and answers accurately. It looks like Linda was not the court reporter. Gina was the court reporter when Ms. Gaudette testified. And if she testified for approximately 2 hours, which everybody seems to think that's about what it took, that runs about 120 pages, and it would take Gina, I'm sure, several hours to type it. Of course, she's in another courtroom, also involved in another case, so she'd have to type it over the evening. And then read it back in the morning. So I'll tell the jurors what their options are, and we'll see where we go from there. I just don't normally address these questions unless I know, about how long the testimony was, and about how long the transcript would be, and about how long it would take to represent it to the jury, so they would know what to expect. Bring the jury in, please. Okay, we're back in session. The jurors are again present. Ms. Mock, I have your request here, and I apologize for being a little slow getting back to you, but I had to do a little investigation on this request because Linda Bowden is our court reporter today, but Shay Gaudette was the 10th witness in this case, and actually we had another court reporter. Gina was the court reporter on that day, to determine about how long that testimony is. Our best estimate is it's about 2 hours, which would probably be about 120 pages, roughly, in a transcript. Your request was request a transcript of Shay Gaudette's testimony. I'm probably going to have to educate you a little bit about our system here. It's not nearly as advanced as people probably think it is. When court reporters take down a verbatim transcript, they take it down in stenograph notes. They then thereafter, usually at night or on weekends, and sometime later, type the transcript. They have to translate and type in English from those notes. And so it's about it would take at least 2 hours for her to type this, and she's actually in another courtroom, and so she could type it over the evening and present it to you in the morning. If you deemed it necessary and something that you simply felt like you needed to hear in order to reach a unanimous decision in the case, I have the authority to grant your request. However, you can't just flip through it looking for something that you might be focused on. protocol the court requires, and again, I remind you, I don't write the protocol, the Supreme Court does, that you have to hear the testimony in its entirety. And therefore, the court reporter would prepare the transcript, and then she would read it back to you. Question, answer, question, answer, question, answer, until completed. And so that would take probably about at least 2 hours if the testimony took 2 hours. So I'm just telling you what you're asking the court to allow you to do, and then what I would be required to do to comply with your request. I don't know where you are in your analysis of this evidence and also in your deliberations, but if you've reached a point where you can't move forward without this information, that's the procedure that we would have to use if you want to think about what I've said, discuss it among yourselves, see if this is a crucial request that you deem necessary to reach a decision, and then I'll make every effort to comply. If after reflection you decide maybe you can move forward, then you can do that too. So I'm telling you now that I have your request before me. I'm going to let you retire and resume your deliberations, probably maybe at lunch. At the lunch break, if you will tell me whether or not you believe this is something that you're going to need to hear. If necessary, I will notify her. I'll ask her to prepare the transcript over the evening, and we'll be prepared to present it in the morning. And again, it will be presented by going through the entire testimony, question and answer. All right, I think that's about as much as I can tell you about your request, and I'll be glad to honor it if you deem it necessary. You know what time you want to stop for lunch, or y'all just let me know?
We'll let you know.
That's fine. That's fine. We'll be right here. Thank you very much. You can retire and resume your deliberations. Any objection by the state or the defendant as to the request?